What's happening, Facebook? I don't go live often, but when I do, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. I'm going to share something with you today. I'm going to blow your mind today, by the way. Just know the rest of the weekend you won't be able to sleep, and that's okay. And that's okay. That's a good thing. That's a healthy thing when you're excited about something that could really change your life. So, what's up, Ryan? What's up, my brother Jerry Simon? Wanda, hey, what's up? Blake, we got a bunch of people joining in. Man, thanks for joining in. What's up, Crystal? What's up, Russell? How you doing, brother? George, local hunt tune. How you doing? I might end up. I can add some of you to my broadcast. I might have to bring some of y'all on board today. What's up, Kevin? So today was the official day, and I'm going to cover a few things. I don't even remember what I put in the headline, so I know I'm going to share with you Ray Dalio's #1 principle, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be here talking to you. I'm also going to share a little bit of truth about eXp Realty. If you haven't heard about it, you're going to hear about it here, and you can also watch a webinar that I attached to this that me and Al Stasek did, covering that business and that opportunity. And then, I've kind of done the unthinkable, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Hey, what's happening? All right, Jake's on board. Look at that. What's up, man? Awesome. Kelly Bridges, what's going on? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so it's good to see you guys. Like I said, I don't go live often, so when I do, it means I have something important to say. I don't always have a lot of things that are important to say, and this is important. So, and I'm sure Al, I'm going to add you to the broadcast. I don't even know what happens when we do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm inviting you to the broadcast, Mr. Al Stasek. You should be joining me shortly. No idea what happens when you get connected. Are you there, Al? There he is.
Hey,
what's happening?
What's going on?
What's going on? Not much, man. Actually, just jumping on after our morning being announced at eXp. So to completely let the cat out of the bag, Al, who joined eXp, 70 days ago?
About 70 days, maybe 71.
Right. Basically, actually, to tell the whole story, and I won't tell the whole story because you can listen to part of that on the webinar, but Al shared this opportunity with me. I had no incentive whatsoever to listen to what Al had to say because I own my own brokerage. Why would I even think about joining another brokerage? And I want to break down to you why you should listen, because this is really important. I really wanted to break it down to the principle. And in my life, it's kind of come down to this. I'm 40 years old. I'll never catch Al. Al's got me on the age, but I'm getting gray hair, and you start really thinking as you get a little bit older, like, am I doing what I really love? Am I really living with the passion, and am I doing something that I'm going to make the most impact on the most people's lives? Am I doing that right now with my life, or is there a better way to do that? Is there a better platform to do that with? And for me, two things that matter. It's meaningful work and meaningful relationships. I like to work with people at a deep level, and I like to make as big an impact as I possibly can. That's been what I've been doing my whole life. And every time I feel like I'm not doing that, I'm looking for some other way to do that. And that's really what's fulfilling for me. It's the most fulfilling thing that I get to do. And, the other thing that I've said for a long time, I've probably said it, I want to say since probably about 2009, is how do we put all of our fires together and make one burn? And the reason what I mean by that is, how can we get in a situation where everyone is aligned to the same goal, to help each other grow? And, there's the relationship of coaching, but yeah, you got to pay for coaching. There's all kinds of relationships where you can trade money for services, but what if there was a way for us to be aligned in a way that you didn't have to trade money for me to be invested in you and invested in your business and invested in your success? That's really the kind of place that I want to be. I want to be in a place where I don't have to take your money, where I can just work with you and help you be successful. And that's really what I've been looking for probably the last 10 years. I know Michael feels the same way. It's really where we get fulfillment. And there's a book here. I'll share it with you since I'm actually got a copy of it here, called Ray Dalio's Principle. That's probably backwards for you, but you should get it, read it, get it on Audible. It's an incredible book, and his #1 life principle, if you haven't read it, is being radically open-minded. And I was listening this morning at the gym at Cowboy Fit. I was listening to a podcast with Shane, I can't remember Shane's last name, but it's the Farnham Street blog or podcast or whatever. And
he was interviewing Ray Dalio, and he was breaking down like, well, what's the one thing that really started it all in terms of your principles and the way you make decisions in life. And he came back to radically open-minded. He said, man, it's the value of thoughtful disagreement. And I can't tell you how important that is. If you're in a situation where you're not able to be open with your feedback and how you think about something, and have a thoughtful disagreement with someone, then you really aren't going to get the push up against the limits of your own thinking. You're basically in a place where you're not able to see what may be possible or what you might be missing. And I was fortunate enough to have enough respect for Al when Al reached out to me to want to listen to what Al had to say. And you have to always know that you might be wrong. What are you missing? What could you be missing? And there's a lot of things in life that we've never just experienced, that we've never seen, or we're not even aware of what we don't know, or not aware of what we don't know. And unless you are radically open-minded, you're probably not going to enter into that conversation and really ever get anything out of it. You may miss the whole opportunity, or you may miss the conversation altogether. And we tend to hold on to ideas that are in our head about what we think it is or should be, without actually knowing what other opportunities may be out there. And I said all that to say this, because if Al was to have reached out, and I want to challenge your thinking on this, because this is where, had I not listened, my life direction for the next 10 years, it would have been dramatically different. And I want you to be careful not to make the same mistake. Is, if Al would have said, hey, Jay, are you interested in changing brokerages? I would have said, no, Al, I'm not interested in changing brokerages, but thanks. I appreciate you asking. But no, I'm not interested. In fact, I would have probably emphatically said, there's no way that I can possibly come up with any scenario in my head that I would ever change brokerages. I own my own brokerage. Why would I even consider joining any other brokerage? I can't even fathom an idea in my head that would make me think I should do that. But fortunately for me and for Al, that's not the approach that he took. But when you really think about that, I may have missed an entire opportunity I wouldn't have seen because of the way I was thinking. Okay. And that's what I mean. And I'm not asking anybody here to change brokerages, but what I am going to ask you to do is be open-minded to maybe something you've never seen before, maybe something you've never heard of, or you didn't even know existed, or could exist for that matter. Because when you look at things that way, number one, you're going to have a better perspective on what's possible or what might be out there that maybe you've just never seen before. And for me, it was so mind-blowing that I changed the entire direction of my life. And I am 100% on board with a company called eXp for a lot of reasons. And Al and I did a webinar to break that down, and break down what that opportunity looks like and why we're so excited about it. And I think we uncover a lot of the truth about eXp and what it is that they're doing and how they're doing it. And also a little bit about the people that are behind this company. So
Brent Gove
on there. I can't read and talk at the same time. Al, what am I missing here?
Brent Gove says, I just joined eXp too.
yeah. Brent Gove.
Love you, Brent.
One of the first guys in.
Yeah.
And
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Let me tell you something. I love Brent Gove. I've known him for a long time, but let me tell you what a help he's been for us. That's what I mean when I say total alignment. When you can pick up the phone and you can call a Brent Gove. When you can pick up the phone, you can call an Al Stasek. You can pick up the phone and you can call me. This company has totally aligned us to really have a financial benefit to helping you be successful. And you can't possibly understand that unless you've seen the webinar. And it's funny because either you get it. This is what will happen. Most of you won't be able to sleep tonight. I shit you not. You won't be able to sleep this weekend. You're gonna be texting me and messaging me and Al, and you're gonna be literally beside yourself because you can't believe that this is actually real. And then you're gonna go through this period where you think you're crazy and you think that maybe this isn't real and there's got to be something that's up with this, and that it can't possibly be real. And then you'll realize that that's not true. And you'll tell people about it, and you'll start seeing how excited they get about it. And then you'll be like, this is unbelievable.
Or maybe they're going to think that we're crazy.
Right.
They may think and they might be right.
And they might be right. They might be right. I can tell you this. I would not want to know about it. That's the last thing I would want is for no one to have told me about it because they thought I wasn't open to listening or whatever the case may be. And you easily could have done that, Al, because yeah, sure, you guys have got this big brokerage, you're going this direction with partner, and there's just no way that it would be possible for us to want to shift or align the direction more or less, really, is what we've done. with eXp. And I'm just glad that you did what you did, and we spent a Saturday talking through it and showing me the opportunity.
Oh man, I appreciate you spending the time. You know, most people that are on this I've been seeing all the people joining right now.
Right.
And I just, if I can just, I'll make a confession right now about your first point about being open-minded. There's a gentleman on here right now. I'm not going to mention his name and embarrass him. I have a tremendous amount of respect for this guy, and he's been talking to me about joining his brokerage for years. And he's just a leader in our area, and I look at him as a friend. I look at him as someone I look up to. He's smart. He's been telling me the same thing, and I was closed-minded. I found that I had such strong beliefs in what we were doing that I kind of closed my mind to opportunities. And so having said that, I won't ever forget the day because it was your son's birthday. It was literally your son's birthday. I didn't know at the time that his party was about to go on. Your wife was probably not the happiest with me because you were wearing out a spot in the grass in the backyard of your ranch there, talking to me, and I appreciate you listening.
Yeah, man. You know, it's one of those things. It's one of those moments I'll never forget. You know, and my wife, you know, I can see inside in the house, and she's watching. And I'm just back and forth, and I'm listening, and I'm listening really close. And I encourage everyone to listen twice as hard. If you don't see it, listen twice as hard, and assume that you're wrong. Assume that you're wrong, because if you do that, you can't miss it. The people that miss it, there's a story you're telling yourself, and you know, I can't help you. But if you listen for where you're wrong, what are you telling yourself that is not true? And that's where I want to introduce you to the biggest liar that you'll ever meet. Which is I think it's in the headline. So like I said, there's a webinar that we go through this and explain the whole thing where it's going to make a lot more sense to you. Invest that time. I would strongly suggest you do that like now. And both Al and I, you'll get an email afterwards, and you can reach out to us, and we'll happily talk to anybody that wants to talk about it. We're very open about and very much invested in helping people get clear and make a good decision and moving forward with the eXp if that's what you want to do. So we're happy to do that, and we're happy to do that for anybody who's on here. There's a lot of people with the eXp already. Don't hesitate to involve us if you got people that have questions. We're happy to help anybody in this organization. So, but you know, the biggest liar that you might actually ever meet in your life is actually the person that you stare at in the mirror every morning. And I want to tell you what I mean by that. Because, you know, for a lot of years, I spent, you know, selling 500 homes a year, you know, telling myself a story that, you know, I was getting closer to my goals. And, you know, the reality for a lot of folks that have built a big real estate business and a big team with, you know, the turnover and changing of, you know, you got, you know, all your agents, you got to, you know, you end up letting go, you know, you look at how many agents, if you're doing 500 deals a year, I guarantee you this, you have hired and lost a lot of agents. You lost your best ones to opportunity, and you trained your competition, and the worst ones you fired, or you wish you would have fired sooner. And you've got this revolving door business, and it's painful when you really think about the amount of effort that has to go into making this machine run. And we've helped a lot of people build teams, and I think what we've learned is that they're not as profitable when you get to a certain point. They're not quite as profitable. They're very hard to run and manage. And there's got to be a better way, man. I mean, that's what's been driving us for like the last 10 years, man. There's got to be a better way.
Yes.
Yeah, you can build it up as big as you want to build it, man. But does your life get any better? How much money are you putting aside? Do you have a retirement plan? Do you have what's your company really worth? Let's be honest. Is somebody made you an offer on your company? Right now, they're giving away ERAs and Coal Bankers and Century 21s, aren't they? They'll pay you to take them. And so how much value do you really have in what you've built? Let's listen to the story you're telling yourself. Are you really telling yourself the truth, or are you caught up in some lies that you're telling yourself? So, you know, and I'm pushing back. I mean, I'm probably going to piss some people off. I mean, that's not uncommon for me to do. So, but know this, it's called tough love, baby. I love you enough to tell you what I know and what I believe is true. And
100-0, baby.
I don't know that what you're doing right now is getting you any closer to your goals, man. This gray hair right here, you work on doing the wrong thing long enough, and you get old. And then you look back and go, damn, I wish I'd have done something different. And that's what I feel like in real estate, there's just been a missing piece, a couple of missing pieces to really aligning and creating opportunity for real estate agents that are out there producing and doing the business. And I think we tell the story pretty well in the webinar. I think you get the picture. But I just wanted to publicly announce this because I've been getting pinged left and right on Twitter, and on my Facebook's blowing up, and people text messaging me, I can't believe you moved to eXp. Oh my gosh, this is great. So, it's pretty awesome. And again, let's just keep it, perspective, Al. How many agents are there at eXp today, roughly, you think?
It's just over 5,000.
Right. So that's, it's probably near the end of this opportunity then. They're probably about done adding agents probably, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, because the other 1,995,000 or whatever that math is, they probably wouldn't be interested. Our work's done. Yeah.
They're probably not interested in this opportunity. They're probably
no.
Probably
so Jay, I don't know if you want to talk about this morning and what happened in the cloud at the eXp leadership on stage.
Right.
And I'm just gonna say two things. One, I didn't know you were gonna have me on this. By the way, I would have combed my hair a little bit better. That's number one. Number two, when I knew that Jason Gessing, the CEO, who's an amazing leader, by the way, Glenn Sanford, their entire leader. Oh, what's up, Jason? Yeah, I saw him on. It was kind of just, it's hard to describe in words when we were standing on that stage and we were talking about what we've been working on for the last 5 years, which is not just adding value to the lives of real estate agents, but trying to change the consumer experience as it relates to how they view real estate professionals as experts. Most of the public doesn't. And that's really been our mission. Our mission has really been to change not just the way we practice real estate, but why the way the consumer views the real estate professional, which I don't know. I mean, you'll see. I guess it just depends on who's doing the survey. But it's been said that they don't view them at a super high level, and there's many reasons for that. I'm not going to waste valuable time talking about all those reasons. I mean, there's a low barrier of entry, and we all know that. But there really is no one out there that has just spearheaded the consumer experience and making sure that there's tools available to agents so that they know how to become the expert, so they know how to position themselves in their marketplace as the expert, which ultimately is going to lead to a better experience for the client and overall a better career for that agent that we've been coaching. And when we were standing on stage, I got to tell you, I'm glad it was an avatar, and I'm glad that damn avatar couldn't see me getting emotional. But right. I got emotional, and I knew I got emotional for a lot of reasons. One, I love the fact that we get to work together on this level, and it's exciting.
Yeah, buddy.
The other thing is in seeing the future of how we can change the lives of so many people. That was even more exciting, and I'm excited to link arms with you, brother.
Same here, man.
Yep.
I hope everybody, clicks on the link and watches the webinar. But the thing that you have to understand is, imagine if a company decided to financially align me and Al's best interest with making sure you're successful. And imagine what that could be like, that every day you get to work with us and we get to help you be successful, especially if we were adding an additional passive revenue stream in your business, which is exactly what we intend to do. It's really hard to unless you really study business models and you understand the complexity of what they had to do in order to come up with this idea and to really nail it. But there's not anyone in this company that's not aligned to your success. And when you do that, it's magical. And I've never seen it before, ever. In any company have I seen something take off because they nailed the business model so well that you can't, it's there's a book called The Tipping Point. You should read it. It's exactly what's about to happen with the eXp. Mark my words, I guarantee it. There's nothing that can stop this company. I don't even know what could possibly stop the train. The train is rolling. And I would just say, you better look at it and you better look close. And if you don't see it, you better listen twice as hard and you better ask questions, because And again, I'm never sold on my own thinking. I want to hear your criticism. I want to hear your thoughtful response to what we're missing. Maybe we don't see something. If you think you can intelligently articulate what's wrong with this business model, I would love to have that conversation.
Well, what's funny about that is that was exactly what I asked you to do. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's exactly how you.
What did I tell you on the phone? We were on the phone.
Said you were about to jump off a cliff and join this company, and that I should that you'd love for me to poke holes in it and take a look at it. Listen. And 4 hours later, after I was still walking back and forth across the yard, I'm like, you know what? I don't think you're missing anything. I think you might be onto something here. This shit is real, and this is an amazing opportunity. And again, then when you meet Glenn Sanford, the founder, and when you meet Jason Gessing, the CEO, when you meet Vicky, the CEO or the president of the real estate operation, when you meet these people, and then you go to Fort Lauderdale and you go to their event where they only have 5,000 agents across the country, and you see all the agents that have already joined, and then 2 weeks later you've left. You come back home and Glenn Sanford adds me to the Facebook workplace, and they added 50 employees at the corporate level. This ain't no joke, fellas. These guys know what they're doing. This is a legitimate player that no one has found out about yet. It's a publicly traded company on the OTC. You can look it up, do your research, ask your questions, and get smart and get with someone like me or Al so we can talk you through the opportunity or answering your questions or whatever. So but anyways, yeah, that's all I got. Al, what do you got?
Man, that's all I got. Like I said, I wish I would have fixed my hair a little bit or combed my beard.
Good.
I think just one other thing that is worth mentioning is that you have not made an announcement that you were involved. Obviously, there was some rumors flying around because you were there at we went to Fort Lauderdale together, right. And we went there not for you to be sold on the model.
Right.
You were not going there for that. You were going there to meet leadership.
Right.
And that doesn't really have anything to do with what I was about to say, but what I'm leading into is ever since that day or that week, we have not chased a soul, not one soul. Mm-hmm. We're not out recruiting people. No. In fact, that's a word it doesn't usually leave our lips. We are fielding messages. We're fielding emails and text messages from people just asking, what am I missing? Right. And helping them get clear. And it's not for everybody. I mean, there's people that it's probably, you should stay right where you're at if you don't see it, and that's fine. I think that the big thing that I just have to, if you have received any Facebook messages from me asking, have you seen this? That's because the only people, and I do mean this, the only people that I've actually reached out to and said, hey, take a look at this, are people I have the most tremendous amount of love and respect for,
right? And
that I truly care about. And if I didn't care about you, you wouldn't have gotten a message from me, period. So I'm probably not going to have enough time. I can tell you this is for fact. I will not have enough time to send those types of messages out because right now we have a pipeline of folks that we have to help get clear and the onboarding part is something that we're taking very seriously because that part, it's not like you're going and signing up for a Sunday school class. This is a business decision. It's a serious one. It took me time to ask the hard questions, and I took those questions all the way to the top. I didn't have an Al to go to, not to say that Brent Gove was a huge Cliff Freeman was a huge help. Brent and everyone else that I'm not mentioning here were helps. But all I'm saying is that in going through that, it's a big deal. It's a business decision, and we take it just as seriously. We understand that because we're going through it ourselves. We've been through it. So I just wanted to lay that out there is that you don't need to feel that you would be abandoned by any means. We're here to help. We're here to do whatever we can, and whether it's just answering questions or helping you figure out how to onboard your company, your team, whatever it is. If you're an individual agent, just reach out and we're here for you.
Right. And Shastine, what's up, girl? She's asking if, is this a new brokerage? It's actually, or is it a branch of NAEA? And I almost wanted to answer that. Well, we're not affiliated with the eXp, but actually we are owners of eXp. So that's actually not true, because every agent is. This is an agent-owned cloud brokerage, and it's not. We didn't start it. I wish that we were brilliant enough to think of this. Glenn Sanford is who is the founder of the company, and I would suggest watching the webinar. It explains it in a lot more detail, and it'll give you some context. But this is, we aligned with them because of really the disruption that they're going to cause in the way that agents conduct themselves and sell real estate, and the way that they've shifted the business model to be in the cloud as opposed to all the brick and mortar and the costs associated at each level, from a state office to a regional, franchises all the way to the national, and then ownership by one person at the top. Is when you take all that money and you give it back to the agents who are generating the revenue, a magical thing happens. People tell other people, and everybody wants to get involved. I mean, it's not real complex. We tend to try to make things complex, but like when you really look at what they've done and how they've recirculated the dollars back into the company to give back to the agents who are telling other agents about the opportunity, that's a pretty magical thing. And let me tell you something, ownership, shares, a lot of people get caught up in, well, I got my own real estate company. And actually, interestingly enough, more people that I talk to that own their own real estate company are happy to join eXp and take all the responsibility off of themselves. Al, you did it. I did it. I think we might be the easiest to convince to move to eXp because of all the damn hassle and what's our company really worth. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we should dig into that just for a second. Why not? Because I wasn't.
I'll stay on all day.
I wasn't looking for eXp. I wasn't looking for another company. I mean, I said this at our mastermind when I did that presentation. I was looking for a solution. I was looking to better my model, and I knew the parts that were broken, and I knew that my current model wasn't serving the agents at a level that if I was working for a brokerage that I would want, like an opportunity to have an exit plan. I didn't have that. An opportunity to have, like, for our agents, my agents, I wanted them to have a stake in the company,
right.
And I was trying to solve that. What happened with me was because you, myself, Mike Reese, and a lot of the mastermind people, we were knee deep, neck deep in trying to solve problems. That's what we were trying to do. And when I saw this model, it clicked so fast because I said, well, this is what the hell I've been trying to solve. This is what we've been trying to solve. And I think that's just why it clicked, I agree with you. It's amazing the amount of independent brokerages. You do have to put your ego aside to see that, right? And by the way, just let me say this to say that if there's independent brokers on here who are crushing it, keep on keeping on. I'm not saying that because you don't see it that that it's not for everyone. There's people that are maybe listening to this right now who are massively profitable, who have agents that'll never leave them because their leadership's strong, and maybe they have a unique selling proposition, or I shouldn't say that. What am I looking for, Jay? They have a business model that solves that problem of attrition.
Yeah.
That has that, and that's awesome. I'm just going to tell you, transparency. I didn't have that in my brokerage. I don't believe that you guys had that in your brokerage. It's not to say that we weren't focused on it and we wanted to fix it. We tried. We did. And someone beat us to it.
That a pretty valiant effort, I think.
Yes, I agree. Value proposition. Yes. Whoever said that, Jason Gaspara. Oh, Jason Gaspara. Jason's crushing it. That's my boy. He's the one that got. Jason talked me. He was my Zillow rep for a couple years. I still miss him. Nothing against my current one. I mean, he's good.
He nailed it. It's exactly right. It's what's your value proposition to the agents that come and join your team, or what's your value proposition for agents to come and stay at your brokerage? And either you're very clear on the value that you bring and what the trade-off is for that, or you're not clear. And I can tell you this, after you watch this webinar, the last thing you're going to want to do is have your agents hearing about eXp, because it's really, I think a lot of agents, I think a lot of us that have worked really hard over the years, and I think, the progression that a lot of us have experienced, just because there's a lot of top agents that are on here that own their own brokerages now, is that you get to a point where you're paying $50,000, then it's $70,000 to your brokerage. For me, it was Coldwell Banker. Half the money was going to Coldwell Banker. I calculated what it was in my best year. $180,000 I paid. 11% of my $1.7 million in commissions went to my dad, and which my dad probably earned it. He dealt with me for a long time. But did Coldwell Banker? I don't think so. And there's a certain amount of money that if you're paying in brokerage, you got to question whether or not the value exchange is there or not. And most people go through their career, and they get to a point where even if they're on your team, and it usually happens when you're on a team, your agents that are on your team, they tend to get to a point where they start getting repeat business from the people that you gave them. They forget that that's where they got them in the first place, and they're sitting there. You're giving them half their business. They're getting their business. The other half of their business is coming from the other agents that, or the other people that they already know, like, and trust them because you gave them those deals 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And you start to have these hard, difficult conversations. Well, what if you could align and give people a reason to stay with you forever? What if you could put them into a situation where they had they had the opportunity to revenue share for helping tell people about your team and coming and joining eXp on your team? And so there's so many amazing problems that were so difficult and so impossible, it seemed like sometimes, to solve, that just completely can go away in this business model. And that's what we're excited about. So call us crazy, but we might be right.
We might be. I don't think we want to get into the details of some of the stuff we got coming, but we got some stuff coming.
Yeah, baby.
And I'll give a little tidbit. One of the things is there's a very popular book out there. I'm not going to mention the name. I'm not going to even mention, he broke out the scooter. And he's on Facebook Live.
Right.
I want to see your ass fall. Yeah, you better wear a helmet. Where's the helmet?
There's no helmet.
But there's a book, and I'm not going to even say the color of the book. It's a very respected book. It's probably right next to a lot of people's nightstands right now. But I think there might be a new book coming out. That's all I'll say. And it may involve a new model. It may involve a better way. And look at this guy go. Look at this guy. Are you like, is this like Google?
This is the biggest, I love it. The longest hallways ever. It's like a mile. If it wasn't for a Fitbit, I would use that every day.
Are you going down to find Mike?
Man, you know what? I think he's actually at the Hardcore Closers event right now.
Oh, is he?
Assuming, yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mike Foster. Mike Foster says I got great hair, so I'm good with it. I think I found a new style.
Right.
All right.
Cool.
All right, that's all I got, brother.
I think I added the link. If not, once this posts back up, the link will be there. You can watch that. After that, you'll get an email probably an hour after or like right after the webinar or whatever. You'll get an email. You can reach out to us or just reach out to us on Facebook Messenger. I mean, you're already on Facebook. If you got questions, go ahead and ask them. I have a feeling we'll be having a lot of conversations with a lot of you. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks. We're out of here.
Hey,
weekend.
Hey, and we'll see you at the top
or from the top. Make it a great day.